In the first part of this series, we have gone through 5 of the most ridiculous double standards of K-pop. And just with those few points, you can already see how idols can never ever satisfy the public, regardless of how much they try. In today's videos, we will cover some more hilarious standards netizens impose on idols. And if any of you still dream of pursuing this path, I hope you can beat the heat and won't go nuts because of the suffocating life. Number 1. Keep saying visual is not everything, but always talking about visual. After the advent of many pretty Gen 4 acts, some notice that netizens are becoming more and more ironic and conflicting in their words. Since whenever an idol is face-shamed or body-shamed, there is always an increasing number of opinions defending the idols, saying that as long as they were talented and hardworking, there would always be a soft spot saved for them in the public's eyes. However, considering what has been happening on the internet, how the hot topics about Gen 4 idols, especially female ones, have been revolving around visual, body ratio, hips, waist, and face, how whenever an idol put on just a little bit of weight, they would immediately be summoned on pan and asked to carefully manage themselves, and how the most famous members of each act would always be the most gorgeous ones according to the South Korean beauty standard. In fact, netizens are so ironic since they hate those pretty yet not so skilled idols so much that they even made up a mocking nickname for them, calling them eye candy. Yet not a single minute goes by that they stop talking about those eye candy idols. And when some not so pretty idols devote their mind and heart into excelling at all performing skills, they would receive way less attention. The epitome of this ridiculous double standard is the way netizens have been literally worshipping Irene, Cha Eun-woo, Seolyoon, and Wonyoung, since even the most senseless things they could do still go viral just because they have a pretty face. For example, when Red Velvet came back after their longest hiatus of just over 1 year to make their appearance on SM Entertainment's virtual concert, the hottest topic was still about Irene's visual. Or for Seolyoon, regardless of how Lily is a powerhouse vocal, Haewon is a whole package idol, and Kyujin is literally the face of the group, considering her matching vibes with Inmix's direction, Seolyoon is still the most frequently talked about member. Even a seemingly silly thing, like her face easily fitting into a kid-sized mask, also became a hot topic the other day. In fact, the same thing has also happened to Jang Won-young recently, because her visual is such a syndrome in South Korea right now. Just with a little dance when she was casually vibing to music, netizens still went crazy over it, and even made it a trend on TikTok. Then, when idols don't look the way netizens expect, they will immediately get called out for not knowing how to do well in their only job, maintaining a good image as an idol. You can easily realize this by looking at how Giselle has always been criticized for how her thighs and arms were too thick for a girl, how Liz has become among the least famous members of IVE due to her weight gain, although she was on the same reputation par with Jang Won-young in IVE's debut, and most recently, how Hoomin Kai was bashed for looking bigger than other members while his figure was still lean for a European guy. Number 2. Expecting idols to sing like they're in the studio while dancing like crazy. As people are becoming stricter and stricter when standing a group, management agencies and even idols themselves are also becoming more obsessed with being flawless in every performance. Then, when everything is too perfect, netizens move on to complain that they miss the good old days of Gen 2, when idols were enjoying themselves more on stage and gave their best on every performance without having to care much about perfection. The situation is so bad that many Gen 4 acts aren't allowed to sing live, since the management company was scared their idols would suffer from unnecessary criticism for making mistakes while singing and dancing at the same time. While this may seem like a problem of only small to medium entertainment companies, since they might lack resources to professionally train their idols, it's actually a thing happening in Big 3 as well, because for a long time, and even until now, aespa is still frequently made to lip-sync to maintain their perfect image on stage. The obsession with perfection was so big that SM Entertainment only let them have their very first live performance at Coachella 2021, which was over a year after their debut. Or most recently, Wonyoung and Leeso weren't even allowed to sing live, though the song was in the pop ballad genre, and they neither had to dance nor move an inch throughout the performance. Of course, both girls were heavily criticized because they debuted as idols, which meant they must know how to sing. But on the other hand, Starship Entertainment was also stoned for killing IVE's image, and showed no intention of improving the girls' skills. However, when idols go on stage and do their best to kill both the singing and dancing parts, just to end up pumping oxygen into their lungs, people will immediately bash the management company for mistreating their idols. the epitome of how netizens, and even fans, are freaking idols out when saying that idols' vocal capabilities nowadays are down spiraling based on only their singing ability while dancing like crazy, can be seen through the way Winter and Ningning were literally turned into clowns for not singing as well as expected at Coachella 2021. But when they hit all the high notes effortlessly when only standing still and singing, people immediately turned their blind eyes to that. Number 3. Prioritizing idols' private life, but always sharing and discussing their dating news. As K-pop fans are trying to become more aware of their idols' private life, and some even go to extra lengths to do everything to keep it as low-key as possible, things aren't actually as bright as it seems. By that, it means while fans often tell the public to shut up and let their idols lead a life like any other ordinary people, which obviously includes dating, they're also often the ones to make the news spread like wildfire, and then pull the protector card to appear like they're protecting the idols' privacy. Needless to look any further into the past, the way both Blackpink and BTS's fans reacted to Jennie and V's dating news is already the epitome of this ridiculous double standard. When things first started and rumors had it that V and Jennie were having their secret date at Jeju Island, so-called fans were flocking into the comment section, trying to explain to those who believe this rumor, and even going extra lengths by bringing up all kinds of evidence to the contrary. Things kept piling up over time, and while many fans initially joined the conversation because they wanted to protect the reputation of their idols, all they had ever done was to blow the rumor up, indirectly helping it gain more attention, which of course only made things worse, since more people meant more eyes, and more eyes meant more evidence to be dug up. While at first, it was just a random picture on Instagram questioning if the couple in the car was Jennie and V. The huge public exposure of the rumor was also said to be the reason why Gurumi Haribo, an alleged shameless Twitter user, continued leaking Jennie and V's photos on Instagram to attract even more attention. So, do you think netizens will ever stop obsessing over these hilarious double standards that did nothing but make idols suffer? Comment down below to share your thoughts with us. Also, remember to like, share, and subscribe to BeBoss TV for more interesting K-pop content. Thank you for watching.